Hi everyone, welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate Graham, and if this is the first time that you're here, please follow, like, and subscribe and do all the things so we can see each other again. And if you are returning, then welcome back. I'm excited. Really happy to do another reading today. I just feel called to do more, which always is a nice day for me. I love doing this work. If you are interested, I do have readings that you can come and do with me one-on-one. They're my favorite. I love just getting really involved in one person situation is so rich because you all have your own stories and everything. So today I'm going to do a pick a card reading, which is what is going on with this person. So whatever it is that if you're just curious about them, or you really want to know sort of just what they're not really saying, but what's going on for them, that's what this reading will be for. I pre-shuffled and pulled this one, this set for 1, this set for 2, and this set for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Hard for me to hold here. There, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's funny. Sometimes readers look so natural when they do this, and I think that wasn't something that I anticipated being challenging at any point. But holding cards up, apparently that's the challenge. So 1, 2, or 3, whichever one you feel drawn to. If you feel drawn to listen to all of them and you want to listen all the way through and just see if any messages resonate, I'm totally fine with that. I would love to know if you were able to pick things up in all the different decks or not. But for now, you can go and pick a time code, whichever one, they'll be posted below, 1, 2, or 3. And I will start with pile number 1. So pile number 1. You have Reunion of Souls. So this is the soulmate love pile for sure. I already feel really, really warm and really like special. Very like, this is a special, special kind of love that either you have for this person or this person has for you. That's what's going on with them. They want you to know. Also perception. So this to me feels like they're currently changing a lot of their perceptions. So they're looking at things around them and noticing stuff has really shifted into how they used to view things. And it's really shaping how much love they can feel for you. So something is really, really real and true about your connection. And that's what they're sort of starting to see a little bit, or at least they're shifting their perspective. So if they kind of blocked you out, maybe there's a reunion happening soon, reunion of souls. Okay. Okay. Any more? 2. Okay. So we have the Judge. This is balancing of the scales. So it says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So this also feels like one of the things that they're picking up on. What they used to view as powerful is now no longer what they're seeking. So that might actually feel like they've gone down a few steps, like they've gotten behind because they realize now it's like if your values shift, then suddenly all this work that you had in a certain direction is less useful and you feel like you need a beginner's mind again. I think that's actually healthy though. I think it's a good thing to have a beginner's mind, especially with love connections. Like Reunion of Souls here is feeling very much like, yeah, very much like a really powerful love connection. And it's important to be able to actually say what you mean and really act with integrity. A lot of people actually are very stingy with how they give out love, and it doesn't make any sense. There's so much more that you have to give always. The shadow attribute here is offering only destructive criticism or misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So I do feel there may have been some kind of trying to pull strings or manipulate a situation, and yeah, and it's almost like maybe that's what they're looking at too. This perception shift is, they're seeing how they were actually controlling or limiting or binding, restricting the connection before. And now they're sort of weighing it out, going, you know what, maybe I was too hasty, or maybe I said something I didn't quite mean, or maybe this love is more than what I saw. And so that's where the balancing comes in, right? Maybe they were like, oh, it doesn't really mean that much to me. And now they're shifting that. The next card is the Hermit. It says it seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, and it serves personal creativity. And the shadow attribute is withdraw from society out of fear or negative judgments of others and refusing to help those in need. So I am feeling more on the, it's like they withdrew from everyone else and they didn't want to receive any negative judgment. So maybe that was a protective mechanism at some point, and then it just became not useful because now there's that limit, that block between your love. And so they're shifting their perception on what is important to them right now and trying to weigh out how to move forward with pure intention, because maybe they've misused their authority in the past. Yeah, and maybe also part of this, I do feel like this is a connection where you're not really talking that much. So take that if it resonates. And so I do feel like this is really a time that you need to understand they're just focusing on themselves and they're just rebalancing. So it's not something you need to take personally. They're just figuring out how to move forward in a way that feels fair and just. And actually, some of these things that they ran from could have hurt you. And so maybe they're wondering if there is a fair distribution of power, or if more action needs to be taken on their end until, like, so that can happen. Let's see what else is here. It's very interesting. I was like so excited starting this because I feel the purity of this love. Like this love just feels so like deep and real. I don't feel like it's being spoken. Yeah. I don't feel like it's being spoken. Okay, maybe just one of these, and then one of these. Just another card to end off the reading. Woo! That was like 7. I was asking in my head, why don't you have anything to say, just to see. And now they have everything to say. Oh my word. Okay, only one of them flipped up, so I'm gonna take that one. But that is something that I find really interesting that happens, is when you can be having a conversation with your intuition and kind of go, you know, I really feel as though this person isn't saying much. They don't have much to say because it's hard to get a card out. And then all of the cards spit out. That to me really feels like that's what this person wanted to say, is they actually really want to tell you everything. They want to spit out 8 different cards of what's going on. Only one of them is really feeling revealed at this time. And so that's the one that we're given. But just to keep in mind that they might have more they want to say, or more that they are saying that you're not picking up on. Okay. Oh, interesting. A card just came out. This wasn't from the deck that I was going to use. This is Healing with the Angels, but it said signs. So if that resonates with this group, if you're getting signs and you're not really sure, does that mean my person, you know, is loving me? Are they sending me that sign? Yeah, they are. They are sending you that sign. That synchronicity, that thing that you're noticing, that's a sign for you to feel valid, even, you know, before they fully come forward and speak their whole truth. Okay. So this card that was all the way up was Solitude. So doesn't that feel a lot like Hermit, right? But this is a very peaceful energy. There really is a positive aspect to this. So I'm really feeling validated to say this Hermit card, it's both the light and the shadow. So it's this seeking solitude to really go inward and create and figure out what's next, and find inspiration is what it feels like. It feels like a time where you're going inward is actually really magical. And so this person is going inward in a really positive way. So if you're worried that they're going out and doing a bunch of things, it's a weird time in the world, right? When this is getting filmed, they're probably not going out and doing a bunch of things. But if you're worried that they are, I just feel like this is a group that's quite quiet, and they're really just trying to work on themselves in this time away. Mercury, so open communication. Amazing. So what they want to say is they're sending you signs, they're trying to communicate, they're figuring it out, they're balancing the scales of power and figuring out maybe where things went wrong before, changing their perceptions. So whatever they used to be attached to is now shifting a lot. Their values are shifting. And so now it's the time for them to get a weight off their chest. They want to speak up with love and be heard. And so either this is going to you, whether you need to say that or whether they need to say that. I am feeling like it's what they want to say. It's like they want to tell you this is what they want, is really open communication. They just want to get everything out there. They want to, you know, spit out the 8 cards. They just want everything out there so that it can be dealt with and they can figure out and make sense of things. But until then, they're in this total hermit and solitude mode. And you just have to respect the fact that this is actually giving them a lot of space, and try to notice those signs. When those signs are coming in, don't dispel them. They're there for you to, feel excited by. Okay, that's you, pile one. Let me know if you resonated with that, or tell me what happens when this communication happens. I'm very excited to see what lays there. Awesome. And then now we're going to go on to pile number two. Pile number two. Okay, pile number two. So we have stripping illusions and we have emotional release. Very interesting. This pile already is feeling to me like your person has like a heaviness that's weighing on them that they would like to share with you. And also just that they want to share with themselves. So it feels like they're withholding, like I feel really sad. It feels like there's a lot of grief held in the chest of this person. It might even be in the way that they're carrying themselves. This might be a person that, if this resonates with you, that they might actually kind of have like a hunched over position. Feels like life has been quite challenging for this person lately. It's just like, oh my gosh, things just keep on coming. It's like an avalanche. This person that you're thinking about wants to say to you that this is their higher self. This might not be exactly what the 3D person would say to you. This person wants to say to you in their heart of hearts that they see that right now whatever's going on in their external world isn't a reflection of how they're feeling inside. They're looking at stuff on the outside and going, ugh, I don't like any of this, right? So if it's maybe using substances, or if it's just maybe being really involved in a certain lifestyle, even just like being a workaholic, or maybe it's just in social circles, like how they behave in social circles. You might be seeing from the outside, oh wow, it looks like they're having such a good time, or it looks like they've got everything figured out, or it looks like they're really cool and relaxed, whatever that is for that person. But the thing is, what they want to say is, I'm quite uncomfortable with how much is shifting around me. These illusions that I'm stripping away, it's actually making me feel quite uncomfortable. Like they're really feeling quite vulnerable about the fact that so much is changing around them. And it has to do with discovering their own truth. So this feels like also a group that has not been acting in accordance to their truth. So your person, if you're confused by their behavior, it's because they're not really acting in accordance with their higher self. Now, this is unfortunate because there's a lot of times where we wish that we could just snap our fingers and that person would get it. They'd act like who they really are on the inside, and no real other things would kind of get in their way, right? And that's not really realistic for the human experience. We have a lot of stuff that we have to work through, and if it's hard for you to have that person in your life, please do make the changes you need to make, and just trust that what they're feeling is real, what you're noticing is real. It can be very easy. It definitely feels like this group of people I'm talking to right now, you're feeling for this person like you really have to be there for them. But the thing is, you actually, you can be, but you don't need to be. This person is already recognizing that they already have fellow travelers. Support is all around you. This is something they're aware of. Like part of the stripping illusions is realizing that they do have support around them, because it feels like before they were acting as if there's no one. It's like almost like a very jaded feeling, and this person was hiding from their own truth, which is knowing that they're a loving person as well. And so it feels like really bottled up. I would not be surprised if this was someone who had a lot of masculine energy, or who had felt really like held back at some point. I also feel like it's really important to this person that they be earning money. I'm not sure what that's about, but it says discovering truth, and I'm just really drawn to this basket. So it's like, yeah, they're just feeling like they have to be always prepared and stored, or maybe they rely on a lifestyle where they can kind of come and go as they please, like that backpack, they're sort of like coming and going. Okay, then we have advocate. I love this image. So cool. So it says the light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. Also, I'm noticing that I'm doing this a lot and feeling, so if they have like a frown or like a stern look, or if they're getting headaches or something a lot, you can take that as validation, or if you're getting headaches a lot. I'm feeling like an intense amount of energy there that wasn't there a few moments ago. Okay, light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. Shadow attribute of the advocate, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. So this is feeling a lot along the lines, it definitely feels like what they're doing is actually stepping away from behaviors before that were only for personal gain, and now they're starting to think about more people in their life. Maybe some of these illusions that are sort of going away are about them actually taking action and putting compassion into action. So maybe it's someone who's like always talked about doing more for other people and now are realizing, okay, I've been saying that for a long time and where am I, you know? Yeah, it also feels like it's an issue with committing to causes. So something is not feeling right with this person. Like if they commit to one thing, they're not sure if it's going to be the right thing. It's a lot of worries in this group, like a ton of worries. Okay. Then we have monk or nun. Selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So this is positive. I do feel that it's the light attribute for this one. I do feel like this group is the only reason that they're capable of stripping away these illusions and really feeling as though the stuff that's around them that's fake, that's not the way they want to be living, the only reason that they're able to even identify that stuff in the first place is because they've had some sort of connection with a higher power or with themselves, right? Like a devotion to self means practicing that you actually have the things in your life that make you happy and you try to get rid of some of that excess. Okay, the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. Yeah, I do feel this group may be annoyed, like the person may be annoyed. If you told them, hey, listen, I really think you're not doing enough, they might be like, listen, I'm doing so much. I'm trying so hard. But the thing is, this person's maybe not capable of seeing that because they haven't had this emotional release, they just feel so bottled up. It feels like they're doing everything in their power. So if you can see that there's more power for them to be had, then maybe you do need to step back so that they can have this emotional release, or they can continue stepping into their truth and stripping the stuff away that doesn't make sense and doesn't belong. Feels like they're breaking out of a box that they built that was a safekeeping box. And so it's like they've opened the door to it and they're like, look, I'm out. And you're on the other side going, no, I don't think so. And it feels as though for them, this is feeling like progress. And so they don't really want to feel like you belittling them. Like that energy of mine is maybe not actually helpful. I do think it's humorous, but I don't know if you're feeling that as well. The knight. Okay, so we have advocate, monk, nun, knight. We have these really like quite powerful characters here. The knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Okay, so I'm really getting the sense that in this discovering truth and this love of honor thing, it's like your person did some things that they're not happy with. And because they're not happy with it, that's why they've kept themselves safe. It's almost like they feel as though they're some sort of animal who needs to be caged. And so they cage themselves up, but no one asked them to cage themselves up. And now they're realizing, since they've been in the cage for so long, they kind of had like a coming to God moment of some kind, or, you know, whatever deity, or not. And so now it's the time that they're starting to turn it and say, I need to put this into action. I'm not sure whether that means they're coming towards you or whether they're just working on a project and that's sort of what you need to know about it. Yeah, the shadow attributes, it says allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, and also romantic delusions. So if there's someone in this pile who's feeling as though this was a romantic connection, kind of gone astray because they had stuff to focus on, I guess, the romantic delusions bit is really key. So this person wants to say that they actually had a lot of like delusions about what you might be, and it sort of caused them to flash back and go to a different way of living that felt more comfortable, like they wouldn't have to change so much. It feels like It feels like this person, no matter if it has to do with love or career or anything, it feels like this person has a lot to shift and they're really intimidated about whether or not they can do it or not. And that's part of this feeling. It's like they're really unsure of themselves. And that's, I feel like a lot of tension also in my solar plexus. So if they have any type of stomach things, like I don't normally feel tension there. It's like really, really squeezing tight. So maybe they get nervous and that's how they feel. They feel like a really tight stomach. Oh, I really feel like they're so worried. They just have so much going on in their head that they're just trying to say that it's like they're telling themselves that they're not good enough to do anything or to make a difference or anything. And it's just so sad and untrue, right? Isn't that untrue? Isn't that what you'd like to say to them, this group? Of course. Okay. And great. So I pulled an angel card. What do they need? Power. So that's what they're working on right now. It may not be what you want to hear, but they are working on finding their own sense of power. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know what? And I'm even hearing there's some people in this group who are going, what? They have so much power. They don't even know how much power they have. Well, that's exactly it. If you don't know how much power you have, then it still feels like you have none. And that's when the support is all around them, peace is important. So maybe you just need to send them a message. Let them know that they're powerful, if that's what you're feeling about them. Or if you're not in speaking terms, right? Just knowing that they're trying to take care of that. They're doing the best they can. Everyone always is. Everyone always is. Pile number 2. I hope you appreciated getting a little bit of a look into your person, whoever you're asking about, and what is going on with them. That's what's going on with them. They're trying really hard. They're figuring it out. They're doing what they can do. Awesome. If you'd like to get a little more information and go more in depth with me, you can book a personal reading. They're one-to-one. I really, really love working with people in that fashion. We can really get through a whole ton of just what's going on with you specifically. And I love doing oracle card readings. They're listed in there as well. So until then, I will talk to you soon. Hope to see you at another video, and comment and like below. And now we'll move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3. Ooh, very interested. I was actually, when I was pulling all these cards, I was really excited for pile number 3. I can't really explain why I was so excited for pile number 3. But clearly I needed some water. More is going to be said. Okay, so far I see healing energy, and it's like this hand and an egg. I'm feeling really, really drawn to the egg. So maybe if it has anything to do with fertility. And then we have struggle. This is like a fish going upstream. I'm guessing it's salmon, and I really like the salmon as an animal guide is a really special one. Healing energy and struggle. Okay. This is interesting. It feels like this group, your person, feels like this person has had a pause in their life recently. One that's sort of caused them to face up to a lot of things. It feels also like, feels like the healing energy and the struggle are both, they need a lot. It's like, there isn't that much of a struggle. It's a little bit of a struggle, and the healing energy, there's a lot of healing energy around, but that's what they would say. They would say they need healing energy. Okay. And what type of character qualities do we have so we can understand this person a bit better? What is going on with them that we need to know about? Okay, lots there. Okay, first we have Virgin. So the light attribute is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the shadow is fear of intimate union. Okay, I'm hearing fear of intimate union, so I guess this is another romantic card. Yeah, fear of intimate union, feeling as though there's a large struggle, but again, I'm feeling as though the struggle is quite smaller than they're perceiving. And the healing energy, as if they need a lot of healing energy. Might be someone who is just kind of one of those people, like, you know, those people who are like, oh, I'm super messed up. Like, I'm never gonna be able to love someone fully because I don't really know what that means. But really they're actually very loving, and you see it all the time. It feels like that kind of energy. It feels like this person is like not admitting that they've got more together than they do. But there is a very real fear of getting closer to you. Okay, exorcist. So the light attribute is freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So that feels really loud to me. And the shadow is fear of facing your own demons. So that's part of this struggle, right? What they're feeling as a struggle is really much different from your perspective, but to them, they're saying, no, this is quite large, and I see how much could get destroyed if I let that struggle win. It feels very strict. Like, it feels like a very, like, this group, your person is quite linear and stoic. Like, they really, when they see a struggle, it's like nothing can move past that until that's dealt with, and they sort of like almost laser in on it, to their detriment, right? Because then it's hard to see that so many other things are fine or working well, or they struggle to see the way out because they're just too busy focusing on where they don't have a way forward. Okay, then we see companion. So, okay, definitely a love related, it's funny. I really thought that this one wasn't going to be all different romantic situations, but maybe that's just what I'm being asked to speak about. So, oh wow. Companion. I like this card a lot. Just looks so sweet. Okay. Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. And then the shadow attributes are betrayal by misusing confidence and loss of personal identity. So this feels like, again, it feels like this person feels so far from themselves. So that's why they would say they need healing energy, right? And maybe it has been a really long time since they felt like themselves. But it also feels like this person knows that if they were around you, they would feel like themselves. So that's maybe where this struggle is really a lot more minimal than they're acting as if it is. Yeah, companion, exorcism. So it really feels like there is stuff clearing away, which is also good. That's what I think of with the exorcism card. With the exorcist card, is that they're really slicing away, getting rid of stuff, almost like left, right, and center, it feels like. Yeah, and it also feels like so much of stuff has already been dealt with that now it's like they're free to move forward, and they're just, again, they're lasering in, so they're not seeing that they're almost through the way. Soon. I feel like the breakthrough for this group is going to be soon. Feels like just a couple weeks. Okay, damsel. Understanding the nature of healthy romance. It inspires you to rely on yourself. This is going to be a healthy thing. Maybe they struggle with codependency. Maybe that's part of the struggle for some of the folks in this group. And so if they struggle with codependency, then needing healing energy, right, from you might be something that actually really concerns them. They might be like, oh, I really don't want to rely on that. So that might be the struggle that they go back and forth. It might be that they know that your connection really helps them feel nice about themselves, but they feel a struggle because then that means, well, what if I can't feel that way on my own? And then I'm just reliant on that person, and I don't want to do that. And the damsel is waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. So yeah, definitely feeling as though the damsel part of this is about waiting for something to happen. So it's like the longer they wait on you to help them, the more they feel bad about themselves because they realize they should be doing it themselves without needing you. And then the more they ask you for help, the worse they feel because they feel like they need to do it. It's a whole big cycle, but they're really concocting it. But the thing is, you can't go in and interrupt it at any point, because if you're helping them, you're in the wrong. If you're not helping them, you're in the wrong. It's really when they're ready to be helped, they're going to ask for it. And they know that you're the one who has the answers to help them. Like, they already feel this in this group. It's like they're so beyond sure of it. That's why this struggle currently exists, because they've actually gotten rid of so much stuff that they needed to get rid of, that now they're ready to walk forward and do the healing, but they don't believe it. Like, they're not quite sure that that's what's there. On the other side, okay, surrendering to the journey, release control. This is what they're trying to say to you. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying not to control it, but they're so used to wanting to control it. And maybe you allowed them to in the past. Maybe there's an element of you actually allowed a lot of that control, whether it was with this person or another. So you might also have more of your guard up. And so then that means they need to release their control, because they are now understanding that they don't get to just control this connection. Yeah, okay, finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. I really do feel for this group that what this person is trying to say to you is that they know that if they came towards you, they would open to their spiritual source. So this feels like you're very, very close to a connection here. And that your person, yeah, I really want to learn more about this healing stuff that they're going to do. So I'm going to pull an angel card. What do they need to heal? What do they need to heal so badly? What are they trying to remove, right? I really, this whole time I felt like discrediting the struggle, and that's not really fair. I try not to do that if I, if I don't need to. So what do they need to heal? What are the angels currently helping them in their healing journey? What are they currently needing so that they can move forward with you? Okay. Oh, this makes a lot of sense. I feel so much more compassionately toward these people now. It's so good. Okay. They need balance. They need to understand serenity, find serenity. This is finding serenity in their own mind, right? Something also about this group is they go back and forth. Their moods are really up and down. So it may feel like you feel like you're making headway with them, but their moods are so up and down that you're really just catching them on an up wave. And so you have to be compassionate to the fact that this is still coming in to shore. It's still, you know, making its way. Balance, serenity, and then abundance. And this feels like the key. They need to realize how much they already have, how much work they've already done. They're trying to tell you that this is what they're focusing on. It's just for you on the other side, you've seen that they've had all this, you know, that they could balance. They have so much abundance. It feels as though you really support this person. Like you're kind of cheerleading for them. And so now they're just releasing the control, maybe releasing some of the expectations they had on themselves and forgiving themselves a little bit. They're continuing to clear things away. And really, I feel like they're starting to step into that place. They're opening up to that spiritual source. They're relying on themselves. They're really doing so much good work. And so, yeah, if you're feeling as though you're not quite sure what's going on with them, please know that they're trying to do the best to figure out their own stuff and get into balance and really see that they have everything. And then they'll feel ready to come and approach you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pile 3, for listening. Hopefully you resonated with some of that, got something out of it. If not, then you can always try a different pile or a different video or anything. And if you really liked that, but you felt like it didn't quite get to the heart of your issue or really around what you need to resolve, then you can come talk to me. You can book a one-to-one reading. I have all of the personal readings listed below, and I'd be happy to see you. So until we see each other again, take care.